Prospect spotlight. I'm no longer undefeated, but UFC 238 is around the corner, and I need a guy to shine a light on. And it's Calvin Kattar. He's the Boston finisher, even though he's gone to decision in the majority of his fights. We'll ignore that for now. Okay? We'll ignore that for now. He's taking on Ricardo Llamas. Ricardo Llamas is 37 years old. Need I go on? No, I'm joking. But seriously, though, I feel like I'm riding my bets on Calvin Kattar here for my prospect spotlight. I need to get back in the win column. I think I'm 8-1 now on these prospect spotlight picks that they've turned into. This show wasn't even meant to be about picks to win, by the way. This show is literally going to be about me shining a light on a guy that's coming up that maybe no casual fans have heard of yet. Semi-casual fans have heard of yet. Me shining some light on him, and then hopefully they win their fight coming up. But it turned into it once I ended up like 6 or 5-0 on my picks. But I'm going to pick Calvin Kattar here. I really like this guy's style. He's a fucking slick boxer. I wish he'd implement more kicks into his games. But you know, he's a fucking slick boxer, and I'm purely riding on the bet that Ricardo Llamas might not have it anymore. Okay, he's been knocked out now. He got knocked out of Josh Emmett. He won a split decision, arguably he lost a split decision to Mirsad Bektic. You know what I mean? He beat Darren Elkins. That's his recent win. I don't rate that as a win, guys. I don't rate anyone that beats Darren Elkins, because guess what? Everyone beats Darren Elkins. Just how long can you beat him for? Can you beat him for the full distance? Can you beat him till round 3? Everyone beats Darren Elkins. Some people just can't beat him for long enough. And that's exactly how it is. Everyone who fights Darren Elkins is winning until they lose. Mirsad Bektic's only loss was to Darren Elkins. He dominated him the entire fight and then lost hope and got tired, and Darren Elkins came back to land a shot. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Michael Johnson was beating Darren Elkins the whole fight for as long as it lasted. 1.5 rounds. Darren Elkins gets him down. Michael Johnson is tired of hitting Darren Elkins in the face. Darren Elkins chokes him out. I don't rate a win over Darren Elkins. Okay, Ricardo Llamas has that win. I don't know, though. I'm just going to go with Calvin Kattar here, okay? Let's look through the records of these guys. Calvin Kattar joins the UFC in 2017, gets a unanimous decision win over Andre Fili. For your debut, not bad. Not bad at all. You know, I don't mind that. Not bad whatsoever. Then you move on, and you get a win over Shane Burgos. It might have been an early stoppage, whatever you say. Calvin Kattar was getting the better of those exchanges. And Shane Burgos is a savage and is actually ranked above Calvin Kattar in the rankings right now. Another similar contender that's streaking forward, who just came off a win over Cub Swanson that was dominant. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was a split decision, which was completely fucking retarded. Anyway, moving on. He loses to Renato Moicano. No big deal. You know what I mean? He's a top contender. The only guy he's lost to is Aldo and Ortega, who are ranked in the top 3. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind a loss to Renato Moicano. You can bounce back from that. Get back in there. He did expose some holes in the Moicano fight from leg kicks. He doesn't really check them too well. And if you land leg kicks on a boxer, you know, what do you need to establish? A jab. You need to put your lead leg down and be able to support yourself on it. Otherwise, you're not going to have a real firm jab. And also, you need to move around. You know what I'm saying? So I like that. I like that game plan for Ricardo Llamas coming in to maybe attack the legs. Then maybe go for some takedowns and test the wrestling of Calvin Kattar. Calvin Kattar's shown no holes in his wrestling so far as I'm concerned. So I think he's going to do a good job here. He also came off a win over Chris Fishgold. And now this is his big chance. Okay, this is Calvin Kattar's big chance to rise into the rankings while he's still in his prime of 31 years old. Just turned 31. If he's going to break through to the rankings, this is the time. And Ricardo Llamas is 37. You know what I'm saying? And Ricardo Llamas, as much as he's a nice guy, it seems, you know, he seems like a nice guy. You know, you've had your chances, man. You've had your chances to be champ. You've had your chances to win. You've had your chances to be in the top 5. You just lose every time. You know what I'm saying? You lose to Chad Mendes, you get knocked out. You lose to Max Holloway, you get dominated over 3 rounds. You lose to Josh Emmett, who isn't really a top guy, but he's lost to Aldo. You know what I'm saying? It's just, he's had his chances. It's time to let the new guy come through. And I'm hedging my bets on Calvin Kattar here, boys. It's a close one. I don't know who the favourite is. I think it opened up with Calvin Kattar being the underdog, but then it swayed to him becoming the favourite, or something like that. Or a lot closer than it was when it started, which means a lot of people are putting their money on Calvin Kattar. I don't have any money to put on, but if I did have money, I'd put it on Calvin Kattar. Because he's a savage, 19-3. That's a champion's record right there. And yeah, I like it, boys. I think he's going to get this win, and then we're going to have so much talent in the featherweight division rising through that Max Holloway, if he holds on to that belt against Edgar and Volkanovski and Magomed Sharipov, there's going to be some guys coming up that he's going to have to prepare himself for. Because he's still younger than a lot of these contenders on the rise. And I can list you a few names right now, guys. Okay, I can list you a few names right now. You've got Mirsad Bektik, who's coming off 2 wins in a row. He's 6-1 in the UFC. Okay, his only losses to Darren Elkins, which he dominated the entire fight before he gassed out. You've got Yair Rodriguez, 7-1 in the UFC, coming off a win over Chang Sung-Young. He's in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Then you go lower in the rankings. You've got Shane Burgos, 5-1 in the UFC. He's only lost to Calvin Kattar. The guy that I'm talking about right now, Calvin Kattar. It's not Calvin Kattar, okay? I don't know why Americans pronounce it right now. If it's Kattar, it'd be C-A-T-E-R. Stop butchering the English language, I know it, okay? Calvin Kattar, coming up in the rankings at number 13. He just beat Cub Swanson. He's 5-1. 2 wins in a row. I like it, boys, okay? I'm liking what I'm seeing with Shane Burgos. We've got Calvin Kattar, 3-1 in the UFC. Looking like a savage. Arnold Allen from the UK. From England, represent. 5-0 in the UFC. He's putting on fucking dominant performances, including the win over Makwan Amirkhani, who won last weekend. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of which, we've got Makwan Amirkhani. 4-1 in the UFC. 5-1 in the UFC. How dare I get that wrong? Featherweight's getting interesting, boys. Did I mention Kron Gracie in the mix? Undefeated, 5-0. Won his debut fight. Let's not rush him. Let's not rush Kron Gracie. But let's get him in the mix. You know, let's put him up against some unranked guys. You know what I'm saying? And you got Sadiq Youssef. Not the most impressive in his victories, but he's getting victories. He's 2-0 in the UFC. Bryce Mitchell, entertaining fighter, 11-0. Undefeated, 2-0 in the UFC. I mean, this division is looking very nice. You've got Julio Arce, who's fighting this weekend as well, I believe. Am I right in saying that he's fighting this weekend? No, I'm completely wrong, and I'm embarrassed. I'm fucking embarrassed. Why would I say that? I could restart this whole video. Either way, he's 3-1, okay? And he's coming off some impressive wins. In fact, a KO win over Julian Erosa. I like him. Dan Ige is the guy who's fighting this weekend. He's 3-1. That's where the mistakes happen, boys. Okay, we got contenders in this division. And it's giving me a big old boner. Alright? Mike Grundy as well. Mike Grundy is in the UFC. Trains with Darren Till. You know what I'm saying? He's a savage. 1-0. He's a jiu-jitsu guy from the UK. Would you believe it? We don't just make strikers. Okay? He's a jiu-jitsu guy from the UK. Got his first win by TKO finish. This is a fun card, boys. This is a fun fucking card. I like it. I like it. But this division right now is giving me the orgasms I've been waiting for fucking 20 years. Okay? I like the way these divisions are looking. We've got contenders on the rise. One thing, I'll say it once. I'll say it time and time and time again. Do not match. And I'll say it again. Do not match these guys up against each other. Do not match the contenders rising through the featherweight division up against each other. Let them rise against the older breed and let them take away the guys that we've already seen compete at the top and fail. Okay? And when I say those guys, also, Grant Dawson's in the mix. He's 2-0 in the UFC. He's fighting again real soon. You know what I'm saying? These guys are savages. And they're rising. When I say older guys that we've seen compete and lose at the top, you know who I'm talking about. And I'll list a few names right now. Chang Sung-Young, Cub Swanson, Darren Elkins, Ricardo Llamas, Josh Emmett, Jeremy Stevens. And Josh Emmett, you might be saying he's not old, but he's old in age. Maybe he's not been in the UFC for a while. Jeremy Stevens. You know what I'm saying? Frankie Edgar. Feed these guys, these up-and-comers, when they come off a loss so they can keep their position or lose it. We need division turnover. We got savages on the rise. And I guarantee you this, in about a year's time, the division's going to be looking very fucking different. Very different. And it's going to be fun. I'm rooting for Arnold Allen. What's this fight about? Calvin Kattar. Yeah, Calvin Kattar is going to win. And I think he's going to get it done by finishing the 3rd round. I don't think I even gave a prediction. I got carried away. But yeah, Calvin Kattar's the guy. Alright? Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Calvin Kattar by finishing the 3rd round. No! I'm having a vision. Uppercuts. Uppercuts in the first round. KO finish for Calvin Kattar. He gets to finish in the third round by uppercuts. Mark my word. He does a straight right, follows it up with a bolo punch uppercut, knocks out Ricardo Llamas cold. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.